Greetings and salutations, this is Jarsz, the biggest YouTuber ever! And good morning for the 23rd of October. Welcome to another edition of the Daily Jarsz, all the stupid that's fit to laugh at. Today we're having a look at everyone's favourite Tosh-filled pantomime character, Level Earth Observer. But to start with, I'm going to welcome my members. And thank you to our members for all you do. If you'd like to join the members, be part of the Huge Arse movement, just click the join button below the display screen on your computer. If you're watching on a smart TV, there's another way of doing it, but it's too complex for me to explain, so you'll figure it out. Okay, so just a repeat of the Gary rule. If Gary Wybenga shows up, he's allowed to make 3 posts in which he needs to present evidence for the flat Earth. If he fails to do that within 3 posts, he gets a 24-hour ban. So feel free to do that under those conditions. Otherwise, don't ban him otherwise, because I will do that if he downvotes this again. If he doesn't downvote, he's allowed to come along and present evidence for the flat Earth. We're happy for him to do that. But if he's just going to present the usual nonsense, we're just not interested. I have a surprise guest today. Welcome to Arctic Reflections.
Thank you.
And you were already, I guess, but now you've made 2 appearances on the Daily Jarsz, so you're the most common visitor I've had so far.
You have good taste.
That's an excellent response. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning here in sunny Brisbane. It's 21 degrees Celsius. What's the temperature where you are?
At the moment, 1+ Celsius.
Oh, wow, you made it into positive.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we're on a globe or something, that we have different weather.
No, a globe. Can I explain that? A globe?
Well, I think it's flat on the top, but globally in the southern hemisphere. That would explain everything.
Oh, that's why I'm not full of. Yes, I understand.
All right, so who we got in the chat? I saw Judy Bassett there. Well, I guess I've welcomed the members, but it's also good to mention them. I don't see anyone else there. All right. So the reason
Madam is thinking of sending Leo to Australia. I think it's a great idea.
No! We have plenty of cranes here, but we need good ones, good drivers. So Arctic, apart from being a good sidekick, and I'm always on his live stream, he's used Level Earth Observer as a bit of a chew toy as well. So yeah, it's good to have him on to talk through that. So I've got several, better share, I guess, shouldn't I? Otherwise, you're not going to see what I'm talking about. Well, I'm not going to complain about this time. I made a point of promising myself I'm not going to complain about StreamYard. There we go. Is that happening? Yes, it is. So here we are. This is Level Earth Observer's channel. As you can see, it looks like he's got himself an editor, which is interesting because he's only got 11,500 subscribers. You wouldn't have thought he was pulling in enough money to get an editor. But that, or he's upped his own game, which based on the quality of his videos, he just doesn't have the capability for that. But let's have a look at a few of his videos. This is one on Elon Musk, entitled, "Where Did It Go, Elon?" I think it's about these rockets. Tell me if the sound is coming through and I'll fix it if it isn't.
Where did your rocket go, Elon? None of the fantasists came up with a logical excuse as regards what happened to your rocket.
Stresses are experienced by the vehicle during the ascent.
That's cute.
With that, we are through the highest stresses on the vehicle. Coming up, we've got several events back to back. The first of those is main engine cutoff, or MECO. There will shut down the 9 Merlin 1D.
Once more.
With that, we are through the highest stresses on the vehicle. Coming up, we've got several events back to back. The first of those is main engine cutoff, or MECO. There will shut down the 9 Merlin 1.
Ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous that you make this a point, Leo. It seems obvious to me. In fact, I'll just go back just a tiny bit. Where is it? There we are. You can see that there's some sort of cover that's in the way of the camera's view. So maybe it was a bit wet or something at the time, and they put a bit of a roof on it to protect the millions of dollars worth of equipment. And it can only film so far, and then they cut to another camera. Why is it a big deal, Leo? What do you think, Arctic?
It's the dome.
It's the dome. Okay. All right. Let's let him hang himself a bit more.
There will shut down the 9 Merlin 1.
Ridiculous. Now, the globe believers, the fantasists, couldn't come up with anything regarding what happened to that rocket. The only thing...
Now, note what he said there. The globe believers and the fantasists, which are two different people, obviously, he's the fantasist, couldn't come up with anything. And let's see what he says next.
They said was, well, what happened was the camera that was filming it was obstructed by the roof of the camera that was filming it.
So it did have something. So you lied. He contradicted himself.
As a result, the fantastic rocket was obstructed by the cover of the camera. Wrong.
Don't just say it's don't just say it's wrong, Leo. Explain why. And believe me, your explanation doesn't cut it.
And this is why the desperate fantasists are wrong. Because when you type into Google SpaceX camera, ground camera, you get this. It's not in a bunker. It's not got a roof. No. It's a camera system like this that has no roof and as a result would not cause any obstruction whatsoever. Rocket go, Elon.
Oh, damn it. There we are, somewhere like there. So this shows his lack of research and critical thinking skills. This is one camera, obviously, but there's more than one camera, and this is obviously in good weather. Don't you think if it was a bit misty, a bit drizzly, they would have put a cover over this really expensive piece of equipment that's electronic, so therefore it's probably not going to be too waterproof. Why take the risk if the weather was a bit drizzly? So he just hasn't thought through. He saw something that he thinks supports him and stuck with that. What do you think, Arctic?
Even if it's waterproof, they will get water drops on the lenses. So a roof makes sense.
Absolutely. This might be just a maintenance picture, I would have thought, because you wouldn't want the roof on while you're trying to work on it. There's one. He used one piece of evidence in quotes, and came to his conclusion. That's not really demonstrating good research skills, is it?
Didn't understand that word. Research. I haven't heard of that one before.
Well, neither have Fleurs, so.
No.
How good did
Get this. It's not in a bunker. It's not got a roof. No. It's a camera system like this that has no roof and as a result would not cause any obstruction whatsoever. So the excuses the fantasists cited only made it worse as regards to what actually happened to Elon's rocket. Oh, dear.
Well, even if something nefarious did happen, the rocket still went up. Thousands of people watched it. What's recorded on the camera is irrelevant, really, in regards to whether or not it was real. He's just he just panders to. He really assumes that his audiences are idiots, doesn't he?
But will he explain what's really happened?
Yeah, he didn't give an alternative, did he?
No, I didn't hear it. No.
Yeah, we definitely saw something come down over the field of view of the camera, but he didn't say what it was. So how does he know that it wasn't a cover? Anyway, that's the typical critical thinking skills of Flurfs.
Thinking and flat earthers in the same sentence make no sense.
Yes, it's also very amusing. S32, so for Leo, the only two choices are know everything and completely truthful in all situations, or total 100% liars. Yep, they have a very binary. The audio is glitching, sounds like a silly old man shouting at clouds. Well, how do you know it's not? I am a silly old man. I deal with these idiots. All right, let's look at the next video. The NASA astronauts that lived inside a cartoon. This is about people that went to the ISS.
I thought we'd catch up with NASA legend and channel favourite, Katie Coleman. What's happening, Katie?
I love this video because it looks like animation, like something that somebody made, but it's actually real footage from the space shuttle, just sped up just a little bit.
I think it's very telling that he heard it looks like animation, but didn't hear, but it's actually some footage from the space shuttle.
And this is a little video. It's about 4 minutes long here. So there's the space station. I love that this is not animation. This is film taken by a shuttle of the space station. And so this is real. It's not animation. Now, this looks like animation, and I'm very proud to know that it's actually real film. It's not a video game. People are living there. I know this looks like animation, but it's actually really real. I love this video because it looks like animation. It doesn't look real.
I think it's fair to say NASA's bullshit hasn't really aged very well, has it?
Neither has yours, Leo. You just repeat the same old pantomime tosh all the time.
The reason it looks like animation is because it is animation.
So where's your evidence for that, Leo? This is a woman who was an eyewitness to this.
But
where's your evidence that it's animation?
I think she says this because there are people like Leo that thinks it.
So you glitched a bit there. I think, what was that last bit? Still with us, Arctic? I seem to have lost him. All right, well, we'll continue with the video and we'll get him later.
What a sorry state this so-called space industry has gotten itself into.
Well, what do you base that on, Leo? And what a sorry state the flat earth movement, so-called, has got itself into if it relies on absolutely nothing, basically. Someone saying something and then actually denying it, but you would only hear the first bit.
Dear, oh dear. Katie, would you mind giving us a toot on your flute to finish off the video, please?
Sure.
$17,500 miles an hour in a space station in free fall around the ball. Look how embarrassed matey boy in the middle here is. Look, he's not only having to entertain this silly hairspray driven pantomime of stupidity, but he's also starring in it. And look how embarrassed he is. I don't blame him. Look.
Leo, you live in your basement. You only come out to jump up into your crane. I don't think you're a very good judge of human emotions as expressed on their faces, especially in the video. It's a little bit blurry like this one. It's a bit hard to tell his face. I do, at one point though, why is he bothering to hold it at all? Because it could just sit there and float in space, couldn't it? Well, in the air, I should say, because there's air there. But I guess he thought this is the polite thing to do. This is what you do on Earth, of course. So why would you do something different?
That's the face of like, get me out of here. Get me off this pantomime stage. This is shocking.
I know the feeling, Leo. I get that feeling whenever I watch one of your videos.
Sign up for this. $17,500
And there is the laughter of an incredulous moron.
mile an hour in a space station in free fall around a scientifically impossible ball.
Oh, I love it when he says scientifically impossible, because he always demonstrates that he has no idea what scientific means. Are you back with us, Arctic?
Yes,
Ah, cool.
I'm here.
Good.
I want him to make more of his stupid videos in his tower crane, or have he lost his work? Or
Oh, that's a possibility, isn't it? Come on, Leo, do us another tower crane video. Prove that you've still got gainful employment and you're not just sitting in your basement, the basement of your mum's trailer.
because then he tried to make something not experiment, but a Leo version of it.
Of what experiment?
When he was in the tower crane and
Oh, right,
trying
yes.
to, yeah, you know.
Yes, flirts don't experiment, do they? They have no idea how to do an experiment. They just say, oh, this matches what I wanted to do, so therefore I must be right. Yes, that's what the scientific method's based on. Not.
We've got a hairspray fetish blended with a flute, blended with some space pantomime, and blended with probably what looks like one of the most embarrassed astronauts I've seen in a long time. Bless him, having not only entertained this silly charade, but star in it as well. Oh dear.
All right, that's that. Yep. You know what? I heard the word pantomime twice in that one. We should do a count, shouldn't we? Let's say it's 2 at the moment. Let's go to the next one. NASA astronaut admits the International Space Station is here on Earth. Now, this to me showcases the way flirts leap on they're so desperate to prove that Earth am flat that they'll leap on anything whatsoever to try and prove that it is. Rather than just presenting objective evidence for flat Earth. That would kill the globe straight away, but they never do for some reason.
So apparently the International Space Station is here on Earth, according to this NASA astronaut, Blur.
So I love it when I get questions like this, because I want everybody, certainly here at the Smithsonian today, all the future engineers and everywhere, to understand why the science on the space station helps us out here on Earth.
Say that again.
So I love it when I get questions like this, because I want everybody, certainly here at the Smithsonian today, all the future engineers and everywhere, to understand why the science on the space station helps us out here on Earth.
So this NASA astronaut, who's currently, pretending to be on the space station, has actually just told us she's here on Earth.
So, yeah, it's not possible that she might have misspoken, because for the vast majority of her life, she spent it on Earth, and that's just the way she speaks. That's not possible at all, obviously.
No, of course not.
And it's just one word. If she said helped on Earth, there would be nothing to jump on, would there? It's so desperate.
She smashed the whole space program.
Yep.
With one word.
Yes. Pantomime drinking game. That's a good idea. So I haven't heard. Did I hear pantomime in this video? I don't think so. So we're still on 2. It should be more than that, really, shouldn't it? Let's let him continue.
She's not orbiting a scientifically impossible globe Earth. No.
Oh, really? Where's your evidence for that? The fact that she used the word the. Oh, sorry, here on Earth. That's whatever she said. Yeah. That's your evidence. And scientifically impossible. Well, we covered that earlier. You have no idea what scientifically means.
She's here on Earth. The words came out of her own mouth, just like Bob told us over a year ago when he gave away the secret location to the International Space Station. We've now got another NASA astronaut telling us she's not in orbit. No. She's here on Earth.
No, all she did was misspeak, using a phrase that would be more common in her life than the fact that she's up in space. Dear, oh dear.
Space station helps us out here on Earth.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, it's absolutely ridiculous that you use this as some sort of evidence that Earth am flat. Can I get an oh dear from you, Arctic?
Oh dear.
That's the way. Okay. 2 more videos to go. This is going through quicker than I thought. The Impossible Globe Earth Curvature Part 1. So this is his latest video, actually. I might jump on. Let's look at this one first instead. So it looks to me, I've seen this one before. It looks to me he's hired that editor that I mentioned earlier, and he's repackaging old videos so he gets extra views out of them. Talk about cynical. But I guess it works. He has, this has had over 1,000 views already. Are there really 1,000 idiots out there who want to watch his tosh, pantomime tosh? Let's see.
Today we get to see an historical moment from space, caught on film, live as the action unfolded.
Oh, I got that wrong, damn. Go back.
China, essentially.
So, no, we're not capturing the event live. We're capturing what happened in Mission Control live, perhaps. But this is an animation. It's clearly an animation to give us some idea of what's going on. Something that's happening on Mars is not something we can get footage of live. You have to send a cameraman before you land the thing, which is not going to happen, obviously. So
next time we send Leo.
Yes, that would be great. And it would certainly end his videos, wouldn't it? Because it'd prove to him that Earth's the globe and Mars too.
I've got a 1990s computer graphic spacecraft to land on what seems to be a still image of Mars. Incredible stuff. We join the action as this was filmed live as the action unfolded in the control room.
The control room was filmed live.
I might need to translate here. I've got very basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me.
That famous quote that Where's Wally uses all the time. I have basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me. Yes, let's hear that again.
Need to translate here. I've got very basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me.
Well, you're unbearable.
At 3:33 p.m., the 1990s computer-generated spacecraft landed on the still image of the Martian surface. If you know what's good for you, you better clap now.
So is Leo claiming that he understands Chinese?
Yes, of course.
And to me, that was rather advanced if he only had basic understanding. Anyway. Anything else?
Every crane driver knows how to speak Chinese.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I believe these two are the guys who worked on the computer-generated spacecraft and have done so for the last 26 years. Hence its retro 1990s look. But as you can see, all their hard work has paid off. And as you can imagine, these two guys are quite emotional.
What, are you retarded? Are you retarded?
Yes, I think, Leo, for some reason you seem to be confusing something that illustrates what's going on with the real thing. That sort of suggests to me you've got some mental deficiency there. But then again, you're just doing it because it's convenient to your own cause.
Oh, it makes me feel proud. I puff out my chest that I could be part of that pantomime. Incredible.
Oh, there's pantomime, so that's 3. But puffs over his chest like a pigeon playing chess, I guess.
Stuff, as essentially a 1990s computer graphic has landed on what appears to be a still image of the moon. Incredible.
It wasn't the moon, it was Mars. Get things right. The other thing was, he was saying 1990s. It's not 1990s, it's current day, because it's the Chinese version of it. They started from scratch, so it's going to look different. They'll apply their own cultural filter on it, and that's the way it looks from their point of view. That's their up-to-date stuff. You might judge it as 1990s, but that's because you're looking at it from your point of view, not theirs. All right, well, it's 1 second left, so I guess there's nothing more to add there. Let's move on to the last video, which is we're just about right on time, so that's working well. We've got memes after this, of course. And the impossible globe Earth curvature, part 1. So there we are, part 2. That'll be interesting. I might do a video on both part 1 and 2 and whatever parts there are.
One of the videos before about ISS also had part 1.
All right. I've just lost my cursor. There it is. All right. Let's have a look at the impossible globe Earth curvature. So we've got up to 3 with pantomime, aren't we? So
yes.
Hopefully the people who are at drinking times of the day aren't getting too drunk.
The impossible globe Earth, part 1, curvature. Now, the other day I was cited some footage, the so-called proof of the globe Earth. The footage itself is pretty silly. But I'm just going to simplify it and highlight the silliness even more. So bear with me.
Yes, everything you do, Leo, highlights silliness, your own. Oh, this is James May in the U2. Oh, okay. I was going to pause it so you can see the curvature. You can see it there. I think part of that is caused by the curvature of the window to some extent, doing a bit of refraction, but that doesn't mean it's flat, does it? Let's see what Leo says about it.
So we've just seen James May and the BBC cite this as globe Earth curvature from 70,000 feet in a U2 spy plane. Okay, so I'm in the back room. I'm going to use the...
My God. He's not going to, is he?
Yes.
He's not going to compare a U2 to a paper airplane.
It's the same. It have wings.
Oh, my God. All right, on with the stupid. See what he says.
Jim Mats, my paper aeroplane, to prove the point. We've got James May in his U2 plane looking at the horizon. I'm going to guess 1,000 miles he can see from left to right. Center point here, 500 miles to the left, 500 miles to the right.
Yeah, that's... you could have done the calculations and figured it out, Leo, rather than just guessing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be less than that. It'd be nice to do the maths. Can someone do that quickly for me? I think I saw Clive Wells there. Can you do the math of what your field of view would be from 72,000 feet? And we'll see what, and put it in the chat for us, and we'll talk about that later. Oh, hi, Clive. Yeah, I did see you.
In total, 1,000 miles he can see his field of view. Okay. Already there was we know that anyway, that there was way too much curve. that was cited here as so-called proof.
It's only way too much if you assume that there isn't any curve. That's called begging the question, I thought.
Giving the game away, highlighting that it was optical and not physical. But like I said, I'm going to simplify this silliness. So even the most deluded fantasist should be able to see the silliness here. So a plane can see 1,000 miles here from his viewpoint. And as we can see, there was an incredible amount of curvature from left to right. Okay, this map is showing our field of view. So we move along. We've now left that field of view, that reference point. We've now got another 1,000 miles field of view, seeing the same amount of curve, totally different section of the horizon. And then we'll do it again. So that's 3,000 miles viewed by the plane. And now we're going to look at the so-called curvature.
Where do you think he's going, Arctic?
I have no clue.
This isn't a
It will
very...
be stupid.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm hoping, yes. Hope it isn't dumb, he lied.
That was cited as proof of the globe Earth theory. It should be obvious, the silliness, anyway. And this is what the Earth would actually look like if what these fantasists thought what they were seeing was true and what's being cited is true. Taking into account the plane, looking at 3 different field of views side by side, this is what the Earth would look like.
Oh dear.
Yes, oh dear. Leo, that's pretty much the same photo. The clouds haven't moved much, so those pictures were taken very close together. That's not what you were describing in your paper airplane analogy.
No, that's not his point. He means that it would look this way, the Earth, with 3 puckles or 3 hills or 3 curves up. He don't understand that the plane is following the curvature.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, he probably thinks it's got to go into space or something.
Yeah, so oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Or as Simon Dan says, dear oh dear.
You start to resemble what the Loch Ness Monster is cited as looking like. Ridiculous.
Why?
And for the fantasists go, no, you've got it all wrong here. The plane would have travelled round the ball and now would be experiencing different curvature. Well, the problem is, just in those 3 field of views, the plane would have gone round almost a quarter of the way around the scientifically impossible globe Earth.
How did he come up with the number a quarter? First of all, like I said earlier, those 3 pictures are pretty much the same based on the cloud formations. And it makes no sense at all, does it? I don't even want to try and debunk it. It's just so obviously stupid that it's not worth debunking.
And he makes he obviously believes that BBC put out this program to prove the globe. That wasn't the purpose with the program.
Well, I think what he's trying to say he could easily disprove by holding a ball close up to his eyes and rotating it around and seeing how much the curve changes. And it wouldn't. At each point you stop, you would basically see the same shape, wouldn't you? And that's the argument he's making. He's saying as the plane moves around, you should be seeing a different curvature. But of course you don't. It's a sphere. First, don't geometry.
Stringer News, you don't understand that it's Sunday today.
Oh, it's not Sunday. It's Monday morning. All ready for work, folks?
That just doesn't work with your mathematical fantasy world, I'm afraid.
You haven't done any maths, Leo. How would you possibly know?
Right. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Absolutely. Your so-called debunk makes no sense. It's not based on anything real.
Should be obvious anyway. The original claim of
Are you saying that the curvature should be obvious anyway?
curvature was way too much, yet it was cited anyway by the BBC.
Well, like I said, the window would affect it somewhat. So that's, that's the whole we've debunked our argument, which you haven't. You might have come up with evidence that it's not what we say it is, but that's if you ignore the confounding variable of refraction. Anyway.
BBC, the U-2, United States Air Force, James May, and Globe Believers. In the minds of these people, either the Earth resembles the Loch Ness Monster, bumpy as hell, or it's incredibly small, because this plane, just with 3 field of views, would have covered a quarter of the globe Earth.
Well, first of all, a quarter would be like that, like a straight line there, and then a straight line in the x-axis. So that's not that. Second of all, why is this picture smaller than the other two? If you're going to match up a curve, surely you match them up at the same size. And second of all, there's a bit of a gap here. I don't think he's done a very good job at matching this. So he's basing his assumption on flawed data. What a surprise.
Ridiculous. Think about this. You're probably having, if you're a Globe believer, watching this, you're probably feeling knee-jerk type reactions, resistance to this. The globe is impossible. Any curvature is optical and not physical, I'm afraid.
Evidence for that, please, Leo. I mean, obviously, everything we see is something optical in the sense that we see it, but it does. It usually means there's something physical to see. You've got to prove that it's not physical. That's your claim. You need to support that.
That's not my opinion. That's a demonstrable fact.
Then demonstrate it. My goodness.
Oh dear.
I've just shown you how silly the globe Earth theory is.
All
so-called
you've shown,
evidence.
Leo, is how silly your objection to it is.
The cited as proof. It's only proof of the silliness. There is
No one cites evidence scientifically as proof because science doesn't prove things. Science provides evidence for things, and it disproves things. You haven't done either.
the globe Earth theory. Hope you can see it. I've simplified it in a way that really even the most ardent space-believing fantasist can't really deny.
And that's him, I think.
Yep,
that's the end of that video. Oh dear. Oh dear, as you say.
Yes, oh dear.
Apart from oh dear, anything else you want to say about Leo's videos before we move on to memes?
If you look at this one, it's this Flurfs love this video. They love Felix Baumgartner and so on, and they treat them as they are made to prove the globe. Who would send a man up in a balloon jumping to prove the globe for a few fools that believe that we live on a flat Earth? That's
Absolutely.
not the purpose with these videos or these experiments or what you will call it. Flat Earthers are not important.
Yeah, sorry. I think I see Gary Wybenger's soccer count is in here. Gary, you have 3 more posts to present indisputable, I guess the word is, evidence for flat Earth, or you get a 24-hour ban. And if you downvote this video, you'll get a permanent ban. Got it? All right. Let's on the memes. Let's have a little bit of a laugh. So I've got 2 types of memes today. I've got 3 Flurf memes, and then I've got 4 debunker memes, just to sort of give it a bit of a balance. I've had mainly Flurf memes so far. So Satan's globe Earth lie, the Big Bang and evolution explain life. Well, not really. That's not their purpose. You were an accident. No, the things happening as they will. That's not an accident. That's just what happens. We're evolved from primordial soup. Well, that's probably a bad description of it, but no, that's not too far from the truth. We are specks in the universe. Yeah, so what? Some people are more valuable than others. No, that's not a scientific thing. Foundation for the New World Order. My God, now he's into the conspiracy nuther stuff. You are worthless. Idiots that put out flat earth memes? Could well be. God's flat earth. Creation is the only explanation. The only one? Well, that means it's not falsifiable, which means it isn't science. We are incredibly valuable. We are? How much would I'd have to pay for you? The Bible is 100% true, so pi is 3, is it? And donkeys can talk. We live on an unmoving, firm foundation. Evidence for that, please? You are created by God. Evidence for that, please? Bible doesn't count. And God loves you. He may well do. And I love these ones where they particularly make assertions about what other people believe and then get it all wrong. It's the ultimate. Yes, string and use 1. Pi is 3 to 1 significant figure. It's the ultimate straw man. They don't understand what they're opposing, so therefore they just make it up. It's too big, can't prove stellar parallax. Yes, we do. That's how we know we have it. It's too big, can't prove curvature of the Earth. Yes, we can. James May did, for a start. It's too big, can't prove spinning motion. Bob proved that. Thanks, Bob. It's too big, can't prove observable satellites. I've seen the ISS many times. In fact, I've shown footage of it on my previous live stream. I'll have to look that up now. It's too big, can't prove molten core. The reason we know there's a core is because we can prove it. Seismology, it's a science. Look it up. It's too big, can't prove center of gravity. That's too stupid for me to even bother with.
Drop an apple.
Drop an apple, yes. Or drop a concrete block on your head and tell me if it's not moving to the center of gravity. It's too big, can't prove water sticks to a ball. Well, there's water on that ball because it's coming off. But it'll still be wet when you pick it up. But that's not analogous to the Earth spinning. If you've got gravity, then it's sticking to the ball, isn't it? It's too big, can't prove globe pics from space. Yes, we can. The original blue marble, made on film. The negative is in a museum in Houston. You can check it out for yourself. So what exactly can you prove? All of this. You lied about everything. So what can you prove about flat Earth? Nothing. If you could prove it, you would have by now. That's why I love flat Earth memes. They always own themselves.
Oh, whereas Wally is awake too. Oh, there.
Now, Wally's always awake, it seems. So how is this possible? Now, can you confirm for me, Arctic, this top picture, that's a panorama, is it not? You can see
Maybe. I'm not sure.
in the way you sort of got this sort of wavy appreciation of what's there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, on a flat Earth, on an infinite plane at least, there would be no horizon whatsoever. And yet there's a very clear horizon there, which means it's curving away from you, which means it's a sphere, or a cylinder at the very least. But the fact you can do it in all directions means it's a sphere.
Yeah.
So yes, that's how it's possible on this. So now we're moving into the debunker ones. I love this flatearth.ws. WS is West Samoa, or Samoa, I should say, which is an odd place to get anti-flat Earth stuff, but they do some wonderful little memes. If Earth is the sphere, then how is it possible for flat Earthers to show us images of flat Earth taken from high altitude of balloons? This is relevant to the last one we saw. These are the modus operandi of unscrupulous flat Earthers. That's a tautology, unscrupulous flat Earthers, to obtain such images to attempt to deceive us. Yes, and it always strikes me, if you need to lie to make your case, what does that say about your case? Flat Earthers always lie. Obtain a footage taken from a high altitude balloon that was recorded using a fisheye lens. There will be scenes showing a convex horizon, a flat horizon, and a concave horizon. That's the way a fisheye lens works. As it moves around, it'll get it, and it's in different parts of the field of view. You can see the first one, that's at the top of the lens, that's in the middle of the lens, and that's at the bottom. And the digital camera, the sensor just can't keep up as it moves around because it's on the end of a balloon and just moving in the wind. Then they cherry pick one, or they doctor it, I think, in most cases, because I've seen the original of this particular photo. I don't have it to hand, but it definitely has a curve on it. And add emotionally loaded remarks. So that's priming you to believe in flat Earth rather than objectively look at the data. In fact, I can actually see a bit of a curve in this one. Circulate the image, so they propagate nonsense. And then if someone falls for it, they congratulate themselves. That's about right. All right. Now, this one, unfortunately, is bad quality. So this is, the top bit is anyway. So you can see the horizon, vanishing point for railway lines. We know railway lines are not parallel. We know the telegraph poles aren't really getting smaller. That's just how perspective works. And eventually it all goes far enough into the distance so we can't see it anymore if it was completely flat. But that's not what happens with the sun. The sun does not move away to the vanishing point. It doesn't get smaller. It maintains the same size no matter what we do to observe it. And as you can see here, the top of the sun's there, but you can see most of it would be underneath there. It's not moving away and getting smaller like it would be here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. I hope you can. It's going down like this. And that's how we get these sort of obstructions by the ocean. So just do anything that's just so desperate, aren't they? Here's another flat earth.ws one about periscopes. First say, how periscopes wouldn't work because curvature would get in the way. Periscopes aren't really used on modern submarines to the same extent anymore because, first of all, it gives away their position somewhat. And you're the naval person. I think maybe you should talk about this.
No. Go on.
Oh, okay.
We have no periscopes on my ship.
Well, yeah. It doesn't sink very often, does it? But in World War II, it was the torpedoes only had certain range, so they had to get fairly close to the ships that they were going to torpedo, and that's why they used a periscope, so that it'd be less likely to be detected rather than surfacing and firing the torpedo or whatever. So you've seen movies like that, but that was World War II. Now they fire a missile at it or something. They might fire a torpedo, but they don't need to get as close to the ship anymore. So they don't need the periscope so much. The ship could well be over the horizon. It'd be radar guided or infrared guided, depending on which military you're from. So periscopes don't matter anymore. In World War II, though, they did because you were really close to the ship you were targeting. Curvature wasn't so much of a problem because you were close. These days, it's not so much of an issue. Now, this one came up in a flat Earth group I was in, showing these two pictures. Lake Pontchartrain. This is the famous one that, what was his name? Soundley took, showing the curvature over Lake Pontchartrain, because this causeway is like 100 kilometers long or something. Well, not a causeway. There is a causeway, but this is the electricity poles. And someone took this picture as well. So it's a completely different sort of picture. It's not, as it's explained up here. So for starters, the photo on the left isn't even focused properly to begin with. First stone camera. And it's blatantly obvious that the camera was pointing more towards the towers nearby compared to the photo on the right that was zoomed in on the towers towards the horizon. So it's simple to tell by the obvious spacing between the towers. Sorry, I lost it. Where in the photo on the right, the towers are much closer together than the towers in the photo on the left. So therefore, the towers in the distance are just a blur in the picture on the left, where the horizon is completely out of focus and distorted, where you'll never be able to see the curvature. Flat earthers can jump up and down on their heads until their feet bleed, but that's the facts. Yeah, so also, I think in Soundley's picture, there's a little bit of refraction going on, as you'd expect. There's probably less going on this one. But also, I think it's if you can see that a little bit clearer, I think this picture has been doctored, because it's doctored to look like it's going into the vanishing point. But there seems to be water underneath there, as if they left the curvature in, but adjusted the towers so that you've got the vanishing point happening. Either way, it's not very good evidence, I would say. Any thoughts, Arctic? You're the photographer.
Evidence of stupidity.
Yes, yes, very good evidence of that. And just a fun one to finish off with, the image NASA doesn't want you to see, the flat Earth pizza.
That one I haven't seen before. A great one.
It explains all the flat Earth, doesn't it? Just make it a bit bigger.
26 miles, according to Where's Wally.
Oh, for Lake Pontchartrain, yeah.
No, 26 miles pizza.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, I could just about eat that. But it'd be just a snack, of course.
Yeah, a light breakfast.
Yes. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. Just a reminder, Rachel will be on next Sunday, her time, Monday, my time. So this live stream in a week's time. We'll have a chat to her and see where her thinking is right now, hear it firsthand. That's always a good thing.
Yep.
String and use one pizza of 3959. Don't use miles. This is the world. We use kilometers. Let me know who you'd like me to look at in the near future by leaving a comment below. Tomorrow I thought I'd look at the pure stupidity of what's on the Flat Earth Test channel, which is run by Brian Leaky Brain. You know him?
Yes, I've
you've covered him
done
too.
some videos about him.
Yes. He just doesn't get anything, does he?
He proves stupidity.
True. I guess he does do that. I've never really thought of it like that. That's a good point. So thank you very much for joining me, Arctic. It's always good to have a chat with you.
Yeah, the same, dear sir.
Yes. When are you having your next live stream?
I don't know. I have to set up here at home. Now, when I'm home, I will release a new video tomorrow that I finished when I was away.
All right, cool. So everyone knows where Arctic Reflections channel is, I hope. It's easy to look him up on YouTube if you don't. And if you're not subscribed to him, make sure you subscribe to him. And speaking of which, do the YouTube things for me as well. Like the stream, subscribe, click join to be a member. But particularly leave a comment about what you think about Level Earth Observer on the video comments, not in the chat. What do you think he is, a Poe or what? I think he's a Poe, but
a corgi.
He's a corgi?
Yeah.
No, he's not nice enough to be a corgi. I'm going to do a corgi break video soon, so I'll be putting that up. Planet Walk wanted a corgi break for his video, so I will show that soon. I need to get a little bit more footage. The stuff I got was a bit shaky. So I was hearing Arctic saying, why didn't you use a tripod? So I'm going to use a tripod today and get a bit more footage.
Leo is a Fulu.
Fulu, yes. Clive Wells, you're being very polite. He's much worse than that, surely. Anyway, I'd love to read your comments, so please leave one on the video. I think that's just about it.
There's nothing left to do but cue the corgi.
You're despicable.